whenever God was getting to use someone in a spectacular way, there is often a rebuttal or a refusal and an acknowledgement of one's unworthiness to be used in great service. We see throughout Scripture that quite often when God was getting ready to employ and deploy someone for great service, it often came with initial rebuttal and refusal. God, through a theophany of a bush being on fire, says to Moses, take off your shoes because you're standing on holy ground, and I want you to speak for Israel and to lead Israel out of bondage into freedom. And Moses says, Lord, I would do it, but I can't do it because I have a stuttering problem. I have a thick, stammering tongue. And God says to Moses, Yahweh says to Moses, well, I will allow you to use your brother Aaron as a mouthpiece, but you're going anyhow. Jeremiah, come here. Jeremiah, I'm going to set you aside as a prophet to the nations, and I want you to speak for me. And Jeremiah says, Lord, I can't go. I'm afraid, and I'm but a little boy. And God says to Jeremiah that I ordained you while you were yet in your mother's womb, while you were being fashioned. I set you aside for the work of prophetic ministry. And what this helps us to understand, brothers and sisters, is that when God looks at us, God does not use us because of who we are, but rather God uses us despite who we are. It's not because we're so good. It's not because we have a pristine resume. It's not because of our family pedigree. It's not because of our address, but God looks at us and sees how messed up we are, sees how torn apart we are, sees how dirty we are, and instead of pushing us to the side, God looks at you and God looks at me and says, despite your shortcomings, despite your faults and your failures, I can use you anyway. Is there anybody this morning grateful to God that you have a God who looks beyond your faults, sees and supplies your need, and still sees you as valuable for employment and deployment?